today's swarm. This came out of hive number 12A. It's a triple hive. Pretty big swarm. So they're on a nice low branch on the tea tree, and they haven't even managed to get all of them on the one branch. There's actually 2 lots of bees. They did try and land on one branch, and some fell off and ended up on a different branch. So they're still settling down at the moment. I will leave them for a minute. The hive they came out of. It's pretty quiet. There's hardly any bees going in and out. I may have to take it down to a double. Give you some perspective on how far the swarm actually went, and this is about the usual distance too. The hive in the right hand corner, that's the one they came out of, and right just over in the left hand corner, that's where they landed. It's approximately 10 or, yeah, it'd be about 10 metres, 10 or 11 metres. So they don't go very far, most swarms, especially if it's not very windy. If it's windy, they'll get a bit further. So I've taken a look at the size of the swarm, and I've decided that they're too big for probably a nuke or a 5-frame nuke, a 4-frame or a 5-frame nuke, and I've decided that they need to go straight into a full-size, full-depth box. This was one I was just painting. Still got paint on my hands. And I've prepared it. I'll show you what's inside it. With, this is one-handed videotaping, so excuse me. 10 frames, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, yeah, and 5 of them have got foundation on them. And the other 4 are stickies. A bit hard to get them out without a hive tool. Just move the foundation one. When you're selecting stickies, these are actually off the original hive. I always have a spare box of stickies for every hive, so when they swarm and I know which one they've come out of, I give them their own frames back, the swarm. So this came out of 12A. It's getting a nice straight even sticky. Choose some ones that are going to make good brood chambers, hopefully. This one's a little bit warped. This one's a bit better. Yeah, that's a little bit warped too. They're not bad. The strings are a bit warped. Yep, so I've chosen those because they're pretty good for a brood. And I'm going to close this up because there's a few bees hanging around taking an interest in this. They might even be the scouts looking for their new home. So that box is ready to go. I'm going to put another box on top of that because I like to feed my swarms down into the box with an empty hive body. So I'll just go and grab it. So this is my empty hive body. And I've taped some black plastic to the bottom of it. It's a bit messy. I'm just trying to show you it on its side. That's the lid behind it. They do like to go down in through something, and it's a bit dark with the black plastic, so that helps. That's how it sits. So I'll drop the branch in there and put the lid on. The bees will go in there and they'll slowly feed down into the bottom box, and then I take the top box away, but not for a few days. Okay, now this swarm was so heavy that the branch actually broke in the meantime while I was showing you the box, and they're on the ground. And I'll cut the other branch off with the other load of bees on and get them sorted out. They may even walk in of their own accord. They're beginning to investigate. Looks pretty good actually that they'll walk in. Usually they do when they're on the ground. They're actually all moving. You can see them making quite a strong movement towards that, so I think that might just do the job. Try and just gently encourage them. Yeah, there's like a whole wave of bees walking towards the front of the box. Don't know if this is going to catch it. I'll just move the angle over. Yeah, well, they're going up the wall, so there you go. My box is definitely interesting. Really strong lemony smell. I reckon creams smell like bananas, but I disagree with that. I reckon it's got a real lemony tang. And actually that's what you use for a bait hive is lemongrass or lemongrass. So that's what they smell like, lemon. They're definitely going in. So we'll leave them now and go and have some lunch. Okay, I've got them to the next stage now, which is I've straightened up the lid and closed it, put the hive strap on them and tightened them up, and I've lifted the box up off the ground, put it on a milk crate. That's mainly so that I can see what's going on a bit better and see how many bees are left on the ground. There's a couple being attacked by ants. It's also to get them away from the ants. It's a lot easier for them to guard their entrance up high. They're settled and they're going in that box nicely. So that would have been the fate of the bees if they'd stayed on the ground. They all would have been having to deal with ant population. Let's show you how close I am to the entrance. Not just there. I've just seen a bee walking with orange pollen on her legs. They could stay here, but from past experience they really like to get a long way away from their parent colony, and they may not settle down too well if I left them in the yard. Plus I've probably got enough beehives in here. It's getting a bit crowded. Okay, this is the entrance activity at 2:30. Just watching, I saw a bee fly in before we wiped pollen on her legs. So I've already, well, straight away they're bringing in pollen. There's plenty of pollen around. You might see one. Leave the camera on for a little while. See if I can zoom in a bit. Okay, here they are ready to go in the back of the car on the trolley. I'm about to lift them into the car and they're going in the back there. We're off to Sheldon, which is where they're going to stay for the next at least 4 weeks. Okay, I've arrived at my destination. I'm in Sheldon, which is 10 kilometres away, and I'm just going to check on the bee swarm that I've brought in, just make sure the box is making lots of nice buzzing noises and they haven't taken off while I was doing something else this afternoon. And they're going to go on this hive stand here, which is high enough to keep them away from the predators here, which are cane toads and water dragons. Juvenile water dragons come and sit in front of these beehives. Here's my swarm from last weekend. They're going really well. Sitting them in here. The entrance is a bit lower than the back of the beehive, and I'm about to open their entrance up and then I'll go and say hello to the landowner. And that's it. They're home. On Wednesday I'll come back and take the top box off, and I might give them a frame of honey off their original hive they swarmed out of and check through, see how they're going, have a look for the queen, possibly. Hope you enjoyed the video.